So for this episode of A Bit on the Side, we are going to have a look at the icon, the legend that is Colin Moulding, bass player with the band XTC. Now, this band has a catalogue that you wouldn't believe. So choosing one album was really difficult, but I've decided to go with the album English Settlement, because this was a huge favourite on the Haircuts bus. We played it to death and never got bored with it, because there is not one filler on this album. Every single track is a work of art, a thing of beauty. But I have to pick just one, because I can't do them all. So I've decided to go with Knuckle Down. And there's a few reasons for that. The first one is that I'm a huge fan of that late 70s, early to mid 80s reggae scene. The dancehall stuff, people like Gregory Isaacs, the dub stuff as well, I really love. And this track already has that kind of feel to it. And that's one of the things that drew me to it in the first place. If you think about it, you got the 4 on the floor, kick drum playing 4s, the snare drum is on beat 3, and then Colin's playing it has a certain urgency in it, but it's like a laid back, relaxed urgency, if that makes sense. He's leaving gaps. He'll leave a gap, for example, just for a snare drum to go in, and the sound has got lovely purr on it, but it's also got that quite reggae heavy bottom end to it, so it's driving the bottom end and keeping the foundations along with the drums. I can see, obviously not now, but I could see someone like Bob Marley doing a cover of this in the same style as Satisfy My Soul, because that feel is there, and the only thing that's missing from this track is the upbeat on the guitar, jing, 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 and that lovely organ. Put that in and you've got yourself a great reggae cover. So I love that whole feel about it. If you break it down, again, it's just beautifully melodic. Colin knows exactly where his place is in the big picture, and he doesn't step on anyone's shoes, he doesn't get in anyone's way, but he still manages to bring his performance out to the front of the track. And it's just absolutely wonderful. Everything I've ever heard him play, I've always been unbelievably impressed by. I think everything he does is amazing. Again, another self-taught bass player who has developed into one of the greatest players of our generation. Absolutely wonderful. So let's pick apart Knuckle Down. So let's break this bass line down. Usually with this series we just have a quick look, so I'm not going to go really in depth, but here we go. So the song is in D, but let me change this a little bit, there we go, but the first bass note is a C, 2 bars of that, so, and then it goes down to F, to A, and then on the very first note of the 4-bar section, he always plays, the first note is an F. The other times within that 4-bar section, when it goes down, it's got a grace note on the E. Okay, so it's up to that C. Then it does a slide from the C to the D, and then goes to a G and a B flat, and then again a grace note from the G to the A to the C to the D. Okay, so up until then it's So from the A to a D. And then he does a slide to get back to the F. So the whole thing is okay. And then we've got the little link section, which is coming up now. The next part, when you're on that D, goes down to B flat, and then from an A, B flat, B to C. Okay, and then it has a little skip before it goes to the G. So boom, 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 boom. So it leaves a gap for that snare. And the same again. But this time down to the A flat. Okay, and then it goes to this D flat. So that's D, down to a B flat, to an A flat, to a G flat, and back up again, which follows the vocal. Boom, 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 boom. Played at the normal speed, that would be. And then the last time, it's the same first two notes, and it ends on a C. So and then the next part, where it's the chorus, for God's sake won't you put your knuckles down, goes from to a G, so it's G, 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 A, B flat, and back down, A, G, then the normal riff we have from the F. And then the start the whole thing over again. The only slightly tricky bit is the breakdown. After the second chorus you go into a breakdown, which takes you back to a bridge. So this section that goes from the chorus that B flat you want to play on the next string, on the A string there, because you're going to do a passing note which goes to a C. So it would be, and then you're hitting an F and sliding all the way up to that high D on the 3rd string. Okay, so that would sound like this. And holding it, and then it comes down to the lower D. Okay. So that would sound like this. And then back up to that bridge. Okay, and goes back to the chorus. So that sped up to the right speed is holds it, and then to a C, and then the bridge. To the C, and then that carries on the choruses all the way out, and that's it. Now put it together. It's great practice to put it together for yourself. I will include a link to the song in the notes of this section.